Hello beautiful and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this video. We are going to do a full face of the Sephora bestseller list. This is going to be the USA edition. I did do one of these videos where I did the bestsellers of Swedish Sephora because I am from Sweden, and now we're going to do the bestsellers of US Sephora because honestly I owned most of these things already from before. I will chat a little bit about it as we go along, but I'm just going to do a full face of the bestsellers and we're going to see if these are worth being the bestsellers or not. And if you haven't been here before, hello, my name is Angie. I'm such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I love trying all of it so you don't have to, and I especially love finding new brands and experimenting with color. And if that sounds like something fun for you, don't forget to subscribe because I upload 5 videos a week. I will link the video where I did the Sephora bestsellers in Sweden down below if you want to see. We're gonna chat a little bit about the differences as well in this video, but there's a couple of things that are a bit different and a couple of things that it's a bit similar. First of all, the best-selling primer is the Milk Hydro Grip. You can see I have very little, can you see it's down here, of mine. I bought one of these, I'm gonna take my ring off. I bought one of these deluxe samples. And at first I was a little bit like, I don't know if I like this one, but with time I have liked this more and more. I'm gonna be honest. I really do see a difference, and I do think that this primer actually does something. I am gonna do some first impressions in this video, but I always come back and I give you like an actual review after I've used it for about a month or maybe a little more, so don't think that this is like my final verdict. I did have a ranking all my like makeup reviews last week if you want to see the things that I have been reviewing the past month, but I'm gonna apply this and let it sit for a bit, and we're gonna go in with a foundation that's new to me. But yeah, this primer, this is a bestseller both in the US and in Sweden. We have a similar taste. The bestseller foundation when I checked this was actually the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation. I have never tried this one, so this is a first impression for me. Actually, when I checked back yesterday, the best-selling foundation was the Fenty Matte foundation, and I do have, you know, they were selling small bottles of that one, or like tubes. I did actually buy that one, but I was thinking I was gonna do a full face of Fenty, so I think I'm gonna save it for that one. But I am gonna try that foundation as well because I bought one of those small ones. So this is the Luminous Silk. I bought it in 5.75, and I'm gonna be honest, when I got it, I was like, oh, this might be too dark. It might be a smidge too dark, but I don't think it's gonna be that dark. This is one of those foundations that I've heard people, why is there hair here? I've heard people go on and on and on about this foundation, but I just never tried it. If this ends up, why is there a hair here? Hello? If this ends up being way too dark, I don't think it's gonna be... I don't know about this smell. I don't know about the smell, friends. This is a slightly salad dressing smell, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I've heard people go on and on. I don't think that this is a bad color. I'm getting sidetracked. I've heard people go on and on about this foundation ever since I started YouTube, ever since I started watching YouTube. But for some reason, I never bought it, and I don't know why. It just didn't happen. But this looks stunning. Stunning. I love foundations that are a bit liquidy, and this one is as well. So I'm doing a second pump now, and we're gonna do a little bit more here. I actually think that this might be a good color. Why did I think this is going to be a bad color? Is this not a good color? I'm not 100% sure what this color is described at, but I will put the description of this 5.75 here in the corner. But I'm pretty sure I picked a neutral one. Here's the thing. In Sweden, the best-selling foundation is actually the Sephora brand, like the Sephora collection, Best Skin Ever. And I gave that foundation a really good review. I really like that one. So if you want to try a medium coverage, semi-matte, like satin matte foundation that looks very skin-like, at Sephora, but don't want to pay Armani prices, definitely try out that Sephora brand one. I thought it was really good. I have had some friends though with really dry skin that didn't like it. So if you have very dry skin, maybe that one isn't for you. I have normal skin and I have a little bit of like fine lines and stuff. Because I am 37, fine lines come with age. Listen, it is a privilege to age, but it also comes with fine lines. Experience and fine lines, that's what it comes with. But this looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, in the US, a really expensive foundation was #1. Well, now #2 as I was looking at this because, like I said, the Fenty one was #1, but In Sweden, there is probably the most inexpensive foundation on the website is number 1. I don't know if that says anything about the Swedish like purchasing decisions. I don't know about that. I do know that Fenty, I'm gonna use the NARS creamy concealer. This is in Marron Glacé. I don't know. Meow, yes. Meow. This is also on the bestsellers. I've never tried this before. I bought a small sample. But in Sweden, a lot of the that's really yellow. A lot of the foundations and a lot of the makeup items that are on the bestseller list are quite expensive things like Dior and stuff like that. So I am a little bit surprised that the foundation is like the least expensive one. But I do know that there's been a big campaign in Sweden where they have sent out this Best Skin Ever line and the concealer as well. I didn't like the concealer. They sent out that to so many Swedish influencers, and people can say whatever they want about influencers not like
that's not what matters when it comes to Sephora sales.
But listen, it definitely can matter, and that could be a reason as to why that one is selling so good. Because a lot of people have seen it on Instagram and on YouTube in Sweden. It's been around, let's say. I've never tried this concealer either, and that's why I bought in the small size. This was on the bestseller list. There's only 3 things there are first impressions here. The foundation, the concealer, and the powder blush that we're gonna get to. So many people have recommended me to try this concealer, and it is on the best-selling list. I feel like when I started YouTube, everyone was talking about this concealer, but then Shape Tape came and everyone forgot about this one. But I feel like when I ask about people's favorite concealers, like when I ask you, a lot of you are still mentioning this one. So you're gonna have to let me know, like, what is your favorite concealer? Because like I said, I'm 37, I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes. I want something that's not too thick and cakey, but still covers a little bit. But I don't need it to be full coverage as long as it doesn't look too heavy. We'll see how this goes. I did a little brows, and I also, because one of the best-selling, or if not the best-selling powder, depending on when I looked at Sephora, is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. And since I don't love this powder, I do think that this powder is a smidge overhyped. I did use my favorite powder, which is the NYX HD Finishing Powder in Banana. This is my favorite under my eyes. You can see that this is very well used. So I did just do a light dusting of this just under my eyes, but I thought we'd use this on like the rest of my face, because on the rest of my face, I feel like this one is decent, but it does darken up quite a lot under my eyes, and I just don't want that. I really like the concealer though. I think it looks really nice. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this powder to just set around here. I usually don't do any powders in the perimeter because I'm gonna use a powder bronzer and I don't need to be packing on the powders. I don't have oily skin. I do like this powder though for like the face. I just don't like it under my eyes, and I feel like this was just so hyped as an under eye powder, and I don't agree. In Sweden we don't have Charlotte Tilbury in store. There's no Charlotte Tilbury at Sephora, so this one is definitely different from Sweden. And I am going to be using the powder bronzer from Fenty. When I did the bestseller of Sweden, both Sweden and US have the Hoola as the #1. I actually don't have Hoola. This one is in Private Island. This is the powder bronzer. In the video with the Swedish bestsellers, I used this one in the cream version, but that one is actually not pretty like that high on the bestsellers in the US. So we are going to use the powder version. I really like this bronzer, and what I really like with this one, this color, is that it builds and it looks really beautiful. I think it looks pretty on the skin, and it has a very golden undertone, and I like that. I like looking a little bit warm when I'm doing bronzer. I also do not have a pink undertone, so it works pretty good for me. But yeah, I'm a big fan actually of this bronzer. I think it's one of my favorite bronzers. And a little bit on the nose, because you definitely get some sun on your nose. Here comes the blush. Okay, I have never owned a NARS blush in a full size. And even though NARS is sold at Sephora Sweden, I bought the Taj Mahal one. Of course I did. It's an orange one. What do you No one expected anything less from me. I love an orange blush, and this is an orange satin blush, and I'm just so excited. NARS is available at Sephora Sweden, but neither the concealer nor the blush is on the top 6 top sellers in Sweden, which is, I feel, is a it's a little bit surprising that they are not as popular in Sweden as they are in the US, because I feel like they're cult products and a lot of people are like buying these. So I bought the Taj Mahal one. I have used the Orgasm. I just didn't think that that was as exciting as everyone else thought, but we are going to be using this one. I'm going to use a small brush and I'm so excited. I haven't even swatched this. I have no idea. Okay, I like to put my blush up here. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, it's definitely got shimmer to it. Oh, I'm so excited. Look at that. It's very pigmented though. Very pigmented, but I don't mind being a bit blushy, but it's very pretty. I love orange glowy cheeks. I am living the glowy Cheeto life. Don't come for me. I thought it was pretty funny when we came to highlighters, because when I looked at the highlighter bestsellers in the US, I owned top 5. I owned all of the highlighters in the top 5. So I'm actually going to bring them out and I'm going to show you. It is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury and the Beauty Lights Wand. These are not available in Sweden in stores, so they are not part of the bestseller. Then is the Cookie Highlighter by Benefit. I don't think this is like a bestseller in Sweden, even though it's a nice highlighter. Not my favorite. It's very icy. Then it is the Rare Beauty Liquid Highlighter. This is the one that's the bestseller in Sweden. This one is in Mesmerize. It's beautiful, a little icy, but I still very much like it. And it's this one. I have a mini, but these are the Diamond Bomb something. Diamond Bomb Diamond Veil Highlighters by Fenty. I have mine in... This is in Fenty Glow. This one came out last holiday as a limited edition color in a holiday set. Absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. So I think we're gonna use this one together with this one. But I find it very interesting, and maybe that shows that, like, I watch a lot of American YouTubers and I get influenced. Listen, I'm an influencer getting influenced. I get influenced a lot with what other people are using and other people are buying. And I've just found it so interesting that I owned the top 5. And I will say, I think all of these are good, but for different occasions. This Cookie one is probably the one I use the least, mainly because I feel like it's too icy on me. Like, it's too much. It's too much. I really like this one, the Fenty Glow, but I like it as like a blush like topper. So I use it on like my apples to get that extra sparkle, and this is sparkly. This is very much sparkly. If you don't like visible glitter, this isn't for you. But with a dense brush, this is actually a dense like crease brush. It looks beautiful. So I'm just gonna put that a little bit on the apples. Not the apples actually, like a little bit higher, just to get a little blush topper action. And then we're gonna put that one to the side, and I'm gonna use a little bit of the one from Charlotte Tilbury. This is a really beautiful product. I feel like this is one of the better products that I've tried from Charlotte Tilbury. Not that I dislike the brand, I really do like the brand, but some things are just a little bit overhyped in my honest opinion, like the powder, for example. So I just thought a bit on, and I do like this. I do have the Peach Gasm one, and I use that one as a glowy blush. I kind of want to get the other colors as well, just to see how they compare. Does this make sense? And no. It's for science. It's for science. On the Sephora bestseller list in the US is the Natasha Denona Retro and the Natasha Denona Glam. And since I own both of these, I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to use these together, because Natasha herself has actually said that she created these to be companion palettes. So to me, that sounds like we are just gonna do something fun together. I don't know. Like, this is the Glam palette. This one I used in the video of the bestsellers in Sweden. Like, neutral palettes are always on the bestseller list, because let's be honest, most people prefer to wear neutrals on a day-to-day basis, and most brands do agree with that. Neutrals are the colors that sell the best. I am not like, I don't hate neutrals, I wear neutrals, I just prefer to wear more colorful shades. This is a beautiful palette. I ranked this #1 last month, so if you were on the edge of like buying this one, I will say at least that it's really good quality. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. I do love a berry crease, and some of you were asking me if I could show how I was layering the cream and then the powder and then the cream that I talked about in my review. So I thought I'd do this in the crease and then we pop on one of these like more neutral shimmers on the lid. I am not surprised that this palette is on the bestseller list both in Sweden and in the US because people do love cool tone neutrals. It is a favorite for a lot of people and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Okay, let me see if I can point a little bit to what I'm gonna... What am I doing? So I am gonna use this one and this one together, combination like together to... My dog is sleeping on the floor next to me. But I'm gonna start with something that's a little bit lighter. So I'm actually gonna start with this one called Go-Go. This is a cream to powder, this Go-Go one. And I am literally, let me actually show you. I am going in with the brush and I am just swirling in the brush like this, picking up the color. And then I'm gonna start with this in my crease, just to have a foundation. And these like cream to powders are so easy to blend into and to blend up upon, so it's perfect to have one of these as the transition shade. So I'm just going in very light, I'm just brushing a little bit of this in the crease so that we can have something to put the darkest shades on. Okay, so this is just a light color of a little pink in the crease just to help out, and I'm gonna go in with Groove now. This is a refer number 14. This is the powder shadow. So this one was the cream to powder, this is the powder shadow, and I'm gonna go in with another cream in a bit. This one is very pigmented and very deep, but you can make it go even deeper if you layer a bit. But I'm gonna put this in the crease. Sorry about my... Did you fart? Sir, was that a fart? Well, it wasn't me, and I can sure smell it, something. What I was gonna say is that I'm sorry if you can hear my dog in the background, but just be happy you can't smell him, because... Now I'm going back with that first shade, Go-Go, and I'm just blending on the edge a bit. And then I'm gonna go back with this darkest shade as well, just to make this a little smoother. But it's all like back and forth. I feel sometimes that like this process of like going back and forth is being lost, and a lot of people say that things are hard to blend because they don't like blend at the first go, but very few things, especially colorful things like this, do blend at the first pass. Like you have to go a little bit back and forth. And now I'm going back with that darker shade and I'm just gonna like soften this edge. Damn, you're farting! Sweetie, what did you eat? Now I'm gonna take an even smaller blending brush and I'm gonna go in again. I'm trying to show you in this Rebellion. Is that what it's called? Rebellion. It is the cream to powder. And I'm just going in and I'm picking some of the on the brush. You can't see anything. And I'm going in above this one, above the powder shadow, just in the outer corner. And I'm blending this cream to powder here, just in the outer corner. I also did a little bit under my eyes, the exact same colors as I did on the top. And now I'm putting the Groove one, which is that powder shadow, the one that we used before. And I am putting that on top of the Rebellion, like on top of the cream to powder, to make it even deeper. And to, like, you see it's almost like a blackened plum now. And I'm just blending that into the outer corner to create even more depth out here. Because, you know, you know me, and if you don't, hello, I like dramatic makeup. So for me, getting something to be super deep is just delightful. Okay, let's switch gear and let's get into this one. I hope I was able to show you a little bit how I do to deepen up the plum, because it is incredibly deep right now. Can we agree on that? It is incredibly deep. So I think I want to use this one in the outer part and maybe go into... Or do I want to have maybe this one? Or maybe the pinky one? No, I'm... Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Right? Yeah, this one and this one. Making no sense. Just to have like I never do this. And I like... It's nice for me to get out of my comfort zone too. So I'm gonna use this. It's called Outer Eyelid, which is an incredibly unsexy name for a color. I'm gonna spray in this direction because spraying on the dog seems a little... It's like excessively rude. But I'm gonna put that out here. I mean, these shimmers are incredible. That's gonna be really pretty. I always like, if I'm gonna do neutrals, I do a neutral like all matte look, or I do a neutral crease and something colorful on the lid. Me doing a plum crease and a neutral lid, it's like, it's unprecedented. It's very unusual for me. I'm just gonna pop this on and then I'll do the other one, which was this lighter, like cool toned beige, and we'll put that here. And then I'm just gonna blend all of this a little bit together. I'll put a little bit more of the dark purple out here. Just blending this outer corner a little bit so that it looks somewhat believable, and I'll just drag it over the crease as well. I feel like that is really pretty. I think I want to do the matte, like, it is like almost white. It is so light of a pink that it's almost white. That's what this shade is. So I'm gonna take a pencil brush and I'm gonna use this one. It's called Mod, and I'm gonna pop that in my inner corner, because I love a bright inner corner and I love a matte inner corner. I really feel like this is a nice look. I like it. You know what? Maybe Natasha is onto something. These palettes do go very well together. Let me finish this eye look up and we can do lips. Because I will say, lips, bestsellers in the US, that is the category that surprised me the most. I finished everything up, and if you're wondering about any of the things that I am wearing in this video, including the things that I might not talk about, I will link everything in the description box. Everything is always linked in the description box. Let's do some lips. Okay. The lipsticks from Sephora collection, these Lip Stories lipsticks. I brought out 3 here because these were colors that I thought would go with this eye look. These, first of all, these are great. This is a great lipstick formula. It comes both in a like a shiny glossy version and a matte version. This is the matte version. It still has a little bit of a like a velvet sheen to it. This is the glossy version. Oopsie. Like you can see, the glossy one has a little bit more of a gloss to the lipstick. These are such great quality, and these are on the bestseller list in the US at Sephora, but they're not in Sweden, even though these are available in Sweden. And it is a little bit surprising because I thought, because Sephora collection is so well loved in Sweden, but maybe like the trend of bullet lipstick, I mean bullet lipsticks are back, maybe that trend hasn't fully reached like Sweden yet. I'm not 100% sure. These are great though. I'm so happy they're on the top list. We're gonna use the lip sheet, right? Yeah, the Lip Sheet Reshape and Resize Lip Liner from Charlotte Tilbury. This is on the bestseller list in the US. Again, Charlotte Tilbury is not available in Sweden. I like this, but I don't think it's my absolute favorite lip liner. I'm not 100% sure that you need to spend this amount of money on a lip liner, because there are so many good affordable lip liners. I did recently do a top 3 in every makeup category, and I did one on like lips and eyes. And in that one, I talked about my favorite lip liners. This one wasn't among them. It's not bad. Some high-priced items are worth the price. With this one, if you buy it, it's not a bad product, but I think you could get something similar for less money. Oh, and this one is in nude something. Iconic Nude. The different colors I had was the matte one in Brunch Date. Maybe a little bit too peachy for this look. We'll see. And this is the satin one in We. I feel like this one could be a really good one. And then I also have a matte one in Labyrinth City, which is slightly darker. I feel like this could be a really good look for this one. Maybe we'll do this one, the Labyrinth City one. Do you see how creamy and opaque these go on? And they smell a little fruity, not like vanilla or cake batter like a lot of lip products do. They smell like fruit candy in a very good way, honestly. I feel like on me, this Labyrinth City is what people would describe as like a rosewood color. I feel like it's so pretty. Why it's so dark? Oh! The sky is black. I think we're having a storm. And it is raining. That darkness you see, the sky is black. Wow. That is That is something. That is something. But yeah, this is the finished look. Let me zoom out and we can just have a final chat. Everything is done, and I will say I love this look, and so far I love all of the products. I will be wearing this foundation and concealer, and what else was the first impression? I mean, the blush is a blush, but I will be wearing this for the rest of the day, so I will leave a little pinned comment down below letting you know how I felt about especially the concealer and the foundation, because I mean, that's, you want to have a bit of a wear test. So we'll wear them for at least 8 hours and I will get back to you down in the pinned comment. If you were interested in any of these items, I will leave them in the description box. I will leave some links. My links are affiliated, just so you know. But I like the look. I think it's really pretty. I'm not surprised that these are the things that are best sellers, but it's always interesting to see what things are like different and what things are similar, because I mean, culturally US and Sweden are very different, but still we have the same bronzer and highlighter and eyeshadow palette. They're still best sellers in both of our countries. So it's just interesting like how we get inspired by each other and what things are totally different as well. Do you own any of these products? Do you have any of these bestsellers? Do you have anything else that you think should be a bestseller instead? Do let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!